Alright, so continuing on, we get to Van Wilder, The Rise of Taj. So, Van Wilder, The Rise of Taj is the sequel slash spin off to National Lampoon's Van Wilder, coming out in 2006. And I need to go back and correct an error. The original Van Wilder actually came out in 2002, not 2001. I was wrong. And this movie came out in 2006. I see on Wikipedia it went to theaters, I guess, but I don't remember that. But it's a sequel spin-off because Van Wilder is mentioned in it, but he's not in the movie, and Ryan Reynolds does not show up at all. And it follows Taj Bedilandabad, once again played by Kal Penn, as he goes to a prestigious college after graduating from Coolidge, another college in England, where he is supposedly a legacy because his father was in the Fox and Hounds fraternity, I guess, even though at the end you find out he never was in the Fox and Hounds because he was same thing happens to Taj too. He's told that there was a typographical error and meant to say that he was not accepted, but it's bullshit because they like to mess with people. So basically it's kind of the same premise as the first one, kind of. Although Taj is more of an outsider type character than the big man on campus. But there are similarities, like the main girl, I think, and if I missed this, I think she is the girlfriend of the main antagonist, I think, or at least a love interest for him. There's interest in that. Her name is, nope. What's her name? I can't think of it. But she's played by Lauren Cohen, who was Maggie on The Walking Dead, and Charlotte. Her name is Charlotte. She's played by Lauren Cohen from The Walking Dead. And up to this point, when I first watched this, I knew her from Supernatural, where she played a British person. She was in this, and she played a British person. And then she was in The Boy, she played an American. And I'm like, well, she's already British. Why can't she just play a British person? Everyone else is British. Turns out she's actually American. So, I didn't know that. But, yeah. So, yes. Taj is put in charge of this new group, ragtag people, in a new fraternity called the Cock and Bulls. And it's exactly what you think it is. If it sounds like something else, that's what it's supposed to sound like. The Cock and Bulls. And so they are going to win the Hastings Cup. That's what they want to do. And, of course, you have the antagonistic Fox and Hounds fraternity, led by, and I'm not kidding, our main villain, our main antagonist in this film is named Pip. Pip. They named this guy Pip. Who the hell thought it was a good idea to name an antagonist of a film Pip? It's like if Batman fought a new original villain named Fluffy Yummy Yummy. It just doesn't work. I'm gonna destroy you, Fluffy Yummy Yummy. No, it doesn't work. And I'm Batman. No, you cannot give a ridiculous name like Pip to someone. That's the first problem. It doesn't work. Also, while there was some kind of, questionable humor in the first one, this one starts out with a scene in which Taj is on a plane flying to England. And he has this hot sauce for his food that the attractive lady in the seat across from him just so happens to be very, sexually attracted to. So they end up going to what I assume is the airplane bathroom, and he puts the hot sauce on him and she licks it off and stuff. And then he makes the decision to pour it on his ding-along. And yeah, it burns him because it's hot. It gets in your pee hole and you're screwed, man. Now, why would you do that? It's hot sauce. It's not whipped cream. It's hot sauce. You don't do that. Then that's the first scene of the movie, basically. That's what you're in for with this. It gets a little wilder. There's a scene where they're playing volleyball and one of the chicks pulls the shirt off, shows the tits. You know, there's more tits in this because it's unrated, of course. But, you know, it's just, you can tell it's a body double because they only show the tits and then they show her from behind or whatever and then they show the tits. So it's, yeah, it's not really her. But, and then there's another scene which always, okay, so the humanness is questionable to me. So there's this one character, I don't remember his name, but he doesn't talk. And so they explain this by revealing he has an 11-inch dingly-dongly, and that when he gets an erection, the blood rushes from his head to his dingly-dongly, and he can't talk. Which can't actually happen, but that's what it is. And they run with this joke. Like, once this is found out, like, there's this hot chick at the party that wants him because she heard about it. And then, like, he takes his pants down. We don't see it, of course. She faints. And then, like, there's a bunch of stuff going on where he, like, whacks her in the face with it or something. It's really, I don't know. It doesn't work. You know? Dick humor is one thing. Sometimes it can be funny if it's done right. Here, and they, you know, they basically do the same beats. Pip doesn't like him because he's, you know, running in on his girl, so he's gonna mess him up, and he puts test answers in one of the drawers, and then brings the provost, which I don't know if that's like principal or something there, and of course, they find the test papers, and he plans on actually getting the entire Cock and Bull's team expelled. But Taj steps up and says it was him so they can save them. But then, for this to just turn around, because apparently someone took a picture of Taj, and in the background, someone else had the test papers, so there's the proof. Oh, what a tangled web we weave, you know? And so I did like this. The final fight with Pip, I guess, is a fencing match, which devolves into an actual sword fight, and it involves the Earl of Grey, which is the ashes of all of the Earls of Grey, apparently. And it's a pretty good sword fight, I think. It's one of the best parts in this film. Also, another thing I never understood is, okay, I understand the gag in the first one with Colossus and the big nuts. I got that. But now they gave Taj a dog, looks just like Colossus, with the big nuts involved, and its name is Balzac. It's a little too on the nose, don't you think? That's just a little too much. A little too much. Performances. I don't like Pip. I see. I'm not against British characters, but I feel like I get what they were trying to do. All right, I get that they were trying to take the raunchiness of the first film and throw that into British society. To me, they didn't mesh very well. To me, I always find this to be the black sheep of the franchise, or of the trilogy, so to speak, because it's just, one, Van Wilder's not in it, and it takes place in an entirely different country with an entirely different campus, you know, where at least the first one and the prequel spin-off thing take place at Coolidge and have Van Wilder in it. This one is the black sheep. It's out there. Now, I don't hate this movie. I actually quite enjoy some of it. It's not terrible. I'll say that. I think that Kal Penn is still pretty good as Taj, albeit he plays the character a little more confident in this one because now he has to be the leading man. Where in the first one, he was a little more, played downplayed because he was a side character. Now he has to, play it more front and center, and it works. Lauren Cohan, as always, is pretty good. I did like the members of the Cock and Bulls. Sheamus was pretty cool. He always wanted to fight with people. And Fela! No, not that Sheamus, but he is Irish. And there is a scene where he sees this girl and he grabs her ass and she punches him, and he's like, "I think I'm in love." And then there's the character was pretty good. I like the idea of this little games, even though it is reused in the prequel one. You gotta do these games to win. That's basically what they do in the next one. But yeah. So some of the ideas in this are still pretty good, but they don't, in theory, in the concept of this, trying to mesh different ways of society, having Taj come over. The one thing that really had me scratching my head as to why'd you have to put this in there is because it's so out of nowhere, all right? So we're back at the party towards the end of the film. Taj is about to get it on with Charlotte, and she takes her top off. We don't see it because she's legit. She doesn't want to, and he takes his pants off and they get ready to go at it. And Taj's parents happen to show up for a surprise visit on this particular night. It's not like Accepted where they were tricked into coming there with a fake, special night. No, they just showed up out of nowhere. And then they walk in on them. And it's never sat with me. No, it's like, give a reason for them to be there other than, "We are paying our son a surprise visit." I apologize to the Indian culture, but I'm sorry. But it makes sense. Yeah, overall, I think it's a decently made film. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's fine. It's nothing spectacular, but it's a decent follow-up, spin-off, whatever you want to call it. So, what are your thoughts on Van Wilder, The Rise of Taj? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.